There's a saying that goes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. This simple wisdom has proven itself to be true over and over again. Baseball has been played for over 150 years now. Millions of young people have been playing the game of baseball for all these years for any number of personal reasons and objectives. Many play the game for the pure joy of it. Some even view it as a calling. In fact, some believe the game actually chose them. While certainly not every young man that plays baseball aspires to play in the major leagues, very, very few of them desire to be mediocre, unremarkable, or run-of-the-mill. A vast majority of them simply want to play the game they love, as well as they possibly can for as long as they possibly can. Many of these young men and their families intuitively know that if one simply does what everyone does, it's going to be difficult, downright impossible, to separate yourself and your skill from the large herd that fill their days, mundane routines, and unremarkable baseball activities. They long for a different path. They all want to go to that next level of performance.
How many of you have been told by somebody that you needed to get bigger and stronger and gain mass so you can throw it harder? Raise your hand. Okay. I think that makes my point now, all right? That's pretty much universal. The truth is the world out there gives everybody a one-size-fits-all program, meaning that everybody on your team does the same warm-up and conditioning, everybody does the same throwing program, everybody does the same strength program, everybody does the same stretching and flexibility program, everybody does the same mechanics, everybody does the same technique, and everybody does the same drills. That's what's out there, right? I'm going to prove today to you that that's not going to be very helpful. Every one of you is unique. If you don't think of it, if you don't think so, look around, right? You all are unique. If you still don't believe me, go ask your mother. There's never been another one like you. There'll never be another one again like you on the history of the planet. You indeed are unique. There's 52 of you here this weekend. How many plans do we have? 52. Is that pretty complex? Yeah, no, for most people, you can't do that. Yeah, you can. It's harder. You have to pay attention. We have to work hard at it.
90.9!
I need your help, but we can do it.
To date, over 442 of Ranch clients have broken the 90-mile-per-hour barrier. Over 156 have jumped the 94-mile-per-hour hurdle, and 26 have shattered the vaunted 100-mile-per-hour ceiling. Over 122 of our clients have been drafted. If you're receiving this video, you've already expressed a desire to take a different path and take a run at that next level of competition. You've received information from us here at the ranch, but for some reason, you still haven't pulled the lever and gone all in on yourself and your baseball career. This concerns us. We don't believe we're in the baseball training business. We are in the transformational business. We are in the striving for your hopes, goals, and dreams business. And we have a track record that proves indisputably that we are the very best in the world at doing it. There are typically 5 reasons why parents and their athletes fail to act and register for a camp. I'd like to talk to you briefly about them. Number 1. Almost every parent has experienced sports camps before. They have visions of long lines and large group activities. They have a very real and practical fear that the camp will fail to give their athlete the personal attention they need to transform and take those critical next steps toward a new and improved version of who they truly want to become. We all hate being treated like a number. Intuitively, we know that we and our athletes are completely unique in the universe. Sure, some things and processes might benefit a fairly large swath of the population, but true elite performance, personal accelerated growth, requires customization. In truth, the baseball universe, as far as we're aware, only the Ranch Consortium is completely dedicated to treating each and every athlete as the unique, one-of-a-kind individual they truly are, and is committed to formulating a hyper-personalized path forward for each and every one. At the Texas Baseball Ranch, because of our dedication to hyper-personalization, the camper-coach ratio in essence becomes irrelevant. The camp is subdivided into 5 small working groups of 7 to 9 athletes of similar ages. We've conducted over 250 of these camps in the past 16 years. I can tell you without hesitation that the magic is having the energy of a big camp coupled with the intimacy of a small one, which is exactly what we have created. This is a very special X factor you will appreciate. At the ranch, we found groupings no less than 6 and no more than 10 to be the ideal learning environment for training throwing athletes. So if being treated like a number is your fear, fear not. The ranch will treat you and your son in just precisely the opposite manner. Each individual is treated exactly as they should be, as a one-of-a-kind in the universe.
I've brought my second son to the Texas Baseball Ranch. My oldest son had an incredible high school career with incredible arm health, with above average velocity, and this is just an awesome place to train. The people, the environment, there's so many different things that apply not just to baseball but to life, or their attitude towards how they approach other sports or how they approach work tasks or just life in general. It's just an incredible place for them to grow and learn as young men. Came to the camp with the idea of, like every parent, how can we get our child to throw harder? Got him here. I was a little concerned at first about bringing an 11-year-old, but he had been working really hard and shown the dedication, so we decided as a family, my wife and I, to go ahead and do it.
Well, it's about baseball, it's about life, and I think they teach you that, about setting goals, working hard, never giving up. And my son learned that, and I hope my grandson adopts that as well.
We went into it just thinking, what can we do to get velocity? And it was funny because just getting here the first hour, we were talking about so much more than velocity. We were talking about approach. We were talking about the history of the game. They were just exposed to so much that they don't get. Kids nowadays just don't get that stuff. And they were exposed to that, and it was great.
They also really give you the reason why you need to do something. It's not just because this particular person said so, or this particular team's doing this and is actually having success. It's more the reason to do this.
With the philosophy of, yes, you can, don't let people limit you, it was a totally fantastic experience for us and for them. Seeing them get in the car at night, their dedication in their groups and in their progressions, they built some good friendships with the other kids. There's a little camaraderie. They were picking each other up. It was great. And besides that, they got some velocity out of the deal. So both of my sons this weekend set some personal records for how hard they throw. And we can't wait to come back when they're a little older, and we're going to join that 90-mile-an-hour club. They're committed. We want to join, but we know it's going to take work, and we're going to motivate ourselves to do that.
For me, this was the hardest I've ever worked, but I really enjoyed doing it, and everyone around you motivates you. There's no one that's putting you down. The guy that throws 100 will be rooting on the guy that throws 65, and it's just a great atmosphere.
They can literally dream as big as they're willing to work for.
There's no one here that'll tell you you can't do anything. It's all up to you, and it's all in your hands, and it's just great to be around.
What Ron is doing is not just making better baseball players, they're making better human beings. I mean, these kids are becoming men. They're just growing as people, not just baseball players.
It's not a one size fits all.
Number 2, your athlete isn't exactly elite, or the ranch may be too advanced for your athlete. You've heard all of the big league pitchers who have come through the ranch for training or rehab, such as Trevor Bauer, Justin Verlander, Scott Kazmir, C.J. Wilson, or Chen-Ming Wang. We hear this from parents. To us at the Texas Baseball Ranch, elite refers to a mindset and not a skill set. We define elite as where you want to go. Elite as being the most progressive, forward-thinking, hyper-personalized training in baseball. We have a saying at the ranch, it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish that matters. Trevor Bauer threw the baseball 78 miles per hour at his first boot camp as an 8th grader. This isn't even in the top 50 in ranch history for 8th graders. Yet Trevor today still holds the record for a turn and burn at the ranch at 105.6 miles per hour, which he set some 6 years later. To Trevor, it didn't matter where he started, but it mattered where he finished. That is the essence of what an elite mindset is all about. That is what we consider elite. Attitude trumps current aptitude. No place in the baseball universe is better at supporting athletes with elite mindsets than the Texas Baseball Ranch. So if this is your fear, don't let his current ability level concern you. You are in great hands. We work with the pros and the young athletes pitching competitively for the very first time at 9 years old. If this is for you or your son, then you're in the right place. You've already received information from the Texas Baseball Ranch. The next step really is deciding if you're ready to go to the next step in your development. People make decisions for different reasons. You must make them for your reasons.
This has been the best experience for my son. He needed a little bit of motivation.
It has been a life-changing experience just in these 3 days, and as far as seeing my son transform.
Just to have confidence in the people that you're with. The coaches, the staff have been so welcoming, so amazing. The motivational talk in the morning has really started our day beautifully. I absolutely love that.
Everybody is so helpful, so nice, and more importantly, so driven toward the same goal, and that is to have your son or your child improve. And just the environment, the culture, it's so invigorating. It's hard to describe. Until you come and see, I'm getting goosebumps as I'm talking about it.
And it's so nice as a mom to be able to feel confident in a camp. Especially I don't have a lot of experience in camps, and then to have something so condensed has been such a pleasure. I'm so grateful. Coach Ron has certainly picked up on everything that he needed.
He just implements so many different facets of life, and that's what it's all about. That's why I have my kids, in sports, in baseball in particular. That's, I love the sport. But, sports, in my opinion, prepares you for the world. If you work hard, it's going to transcend into everything that you do, whether it be school, whether it be work, whether it be enjoyment. You work hard at whatever you do, you're going to have success.
Number 3, you're certain the event is quite informative, but what can your son learn in 3 days? And will it carry over when he gets home? Most athletes and parents secretly hope the camp will somehow, some way transform the thrower into a healthy, durable, electric throwing machine. In the quiet of their own thoughts, though, they realize that few things can be completely transformed and or rebuilt in 72 hours. They understand that true metamorphosis and lasting change takes time. These are very valid thoughts and concerns. Every major accomplishment begins with 3 primary objectives. 1, clarity. A clear picture on what the results should look like. Clarity is objective number 1 and the goal for setting your athlete on the road to high achievement. Number 2, motivation. Everyone understands the importance of motivation in achievement and high performance. This is our number 2 objective, to provide your athlete with the motivation, enthusiasm, drive, and determination to succeed. 3, plan. Regardless of how much fun, entertaining, or enlightening the 3 days are, if the athlete does not have a working plan to hit the ground running as soon as he gets home, it's possible that our momentum can be lost and we fail to fully maximize our window of opportunity. For a process to have its maximum chance of success, it will require the athlete to work for 21 days and create a brand new habit, leaving with a customized plan of attack tailored specifically to the athlete's current needs is objective number 3. 3 days can become the catalyst that changes not only his throwing and baseball career, but can in fact change his life. So, if you're skeptical on what 3 days can do, know that the ranch staff is absolutely committed in making the very most out of your precious hours with us in Montgomery, Texas, and maintaining that momentum after you return home.
In 3 days, they've already diagnosed, issues that he's had, and I can see where it's going to help him tremendously as he moves on still in pitching.
I was throwing around 80 when I came here, and now I'm throwing 86.
I'm coming down from Northeast Iowa. This is my 3rd visit down here. First 2 were with my son about 7 or 8 years ago. We were so impressed with the program that when my grandson became interested in baseball and got to an age where we felt that he could handle a lot of the information and the knowledge that is shared here, we brought him down as well for a weekend camp.
We came back the second time to just since over the past year we learned a lot more, going through the drills, understood things more, and just being here for the past couple of days has really enforced a lot, clarified a lot, and is really teeing us up, I think, for the next year. And we're excited to see where it goes. We're going to spend a couple weeks here in the summer camp, the extended stay. We're really excited about that, and see where we can build off even more.
It may not be right for everyone. It's not a cookie cutter program where they tell you to do, everybody do the same thing. They really analyze your skills, your body, your movements, and try to adapt the program to the needs of each individual.
People are all personable. Everybody's been helpful. They answer questions when you need them answered. So I would highly recommend this if you have the means and the ways to get here, to consider this very strongly, because it's a great place and the setting is just marvelous.
The coaching. I've played baseball since I was 4 years old, and this is the most coaching I've ever gotten in probably a 2-month span, and I got it in 3 days. I've learned more in 3 days here than I have pitching for many years, so it's a great thing, and I'd really recommend it.
Number 4, you've been to multiple camps. How different is this camp? And will it have the impact your son needs to improve? Borrowing from Albert Einstein, make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. Many camps make the mechanics complex and complicated. Physiology is fundamental, not steeped in technology. Every pitcher's mechanics are different, which is why we customize training for each athlete. Our difference is in the simplicity. We don't have to make that which is natural complicated. We assess, then prescribe. Anything different would be malpractice. In many ways, the Elite Pitchers Boot Camp is the antithesis of the standard baseball camp. In almost every way imaginable, the Elite Pitchers Boot Camp is different. It is not like any baseball camp you've ever attended. The only similarities may be that we all use balls and mounds. Coach Ron and Jill Wolforth's son, Garrett, was drafted in 2019 by the Cincinnati Reds. Since he was 6 years old, their son has attended dozens and dozens of camps. Their experiences probably parallel yours. Almost every one of those camps involved a one-size-fits-all process, which was marketed as time-tested and proven to be successful. Many of these events were helpful to some degree, and even some of them were very well administered and enjoyable. Yet, at the end of the day, a vast majority of them were underwhelming in terms of real impact and failed to live up to the hype or the promise. If a brand new Maserati has a flat tire, the horsepower of its engine or the skill of the driver will not be a factor for its performance until that limitation is corrected. Throwing athletes are no different. In our experience of over 16 years of doing this, 34% of young athletes who have come to the ranch have significant structural issues that severely limit their development. And 72% of attendees have some physical constraints that may very well blossom into serious problems down the road if they're not addressed now.
I have 2 boys, Gavin, who's 15 this week, and Joe, who's 12. And they both are pitchers. The older one's a lefty, and the younger one is a righty. We, as a family, don't know a lot about baseball, but my brother-in-law got us into it. And it just so happens we had a lefty pitcher on our hands, and I didn't really know even what that meant at the time. We just played a lot of baseball, and the more we played, his elbow hurt just a little bit, but we thought that was normal. And we just, especially a mom wanting to grow tough boys, I said, you know what, just suck it up, get over it, get out there. And the more teams that asked us to play for him, we would play. By the time he was about 12, 13, he had a little elbow pain, so we took him to the doctor, and it said it was just overuse. And I thought, well, how do you know what is overuse? How do you even, there's no manual that comes with a pitcher. Sometimes you don't even know you have a pitcher on your hands until they're in high school and college, and here we have a 13-year-old. So in looking at this ranch ad on Instagram, I thought, okay, I am going to suggest this to my husband. And if this is some scam or something, I mean, because this is a lot of money to invest, and we have to fly all the way out there. He'd have to stay there for this 3-day camp, and I'll stay back with the other one. And if it goes bad, it's on me. So I'm praying, Lord, please let this be what it really as it is. Well, he called me the first day, and he was over the moon. He said, this place is awesome. We're coming back in the summer. In fact, we're going to come next winter so you can get a lay of the land. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to send me out there? And he goes, and both boys are going. This teaches you everything as a parent that you need to know before your kids get to high school and college. In fact, the one thing that I hear most is, I wish we would have started with our kids younger.
I have a 16-year-old son who's a junior, a left-handed pitcher, and for years I've been searching for someplace, someone, a team of people that can truly help my son get to that next level of pitching. When I discovered Ron Woolforth's Texas Baseball Ranch, I began to subscribe, DVDs, newsletters, because frankly I just wanted to find out, is this another gimmick where they're going to take money and maybe not even truly help my son? So I spent roughly about a year, maybe even a little longer, trying to analyze while looking at a lot of other competitors in their field. And what I discovered is the more information that I continued to read, the more research that I looked at, all I heard were thousands and thousands of other people that says, the ranch worked for my kid too. So I took the leap, traveled from South Carolina to Texas on a brutally hot Labor Day weekend, and I came here and I totally discovered not necessarily the magic, but what is unique about the Texas Baseball Ranch. I'm on my third day now, and we're forever back, and we will always be part of the ranch family.
We feel like it was really a blessing to be able to find this place early. Now our son, he is loving it. This is his first summer camp, and Jill asked me how he liked it, and I said, well, I think he likes it a little too much. Now the kids want to move to Texas, forget California, and I actually was looking for maybe a place to buy so we'd have a summer home here, because he said, Mom, I want to come back every summer for 10 weeks, even when I'm in college. So that's the next 5 years. So it might seem like it's a big investment, and it is. If you were thinking of going to Hawaii, don't. Skip it this year. Invest this time in your son. If you even feel like he remotely has a chance at wanting to play in high school or college, start him as young as you can. Take the 3-day camp, and you will not regret it. It's really one of the best things we've ever done. And Texas and where it's located is so much fun. As a mom, I was a little nervous about that. Is there going to be anything to do? What do we do? We're stuck at a camp in the middle of nowhere. No, there's a ton of stuff. You will enjoy it like a family vacation. And now we're meeting all these amazing parents here who are like-minded. And it's a winning culture for your son or sons. They come here with like-minded boys who want to be the best they can be. And there's a mindset, it's a winning mindset that you can do it. If you want to and you can work hard, you can be anything you want to be. So it helps us to believe in our kids, it helps them to believe in themselves, and we love it.
Reason number 5. Texas Baseball Ranch tuition is higher than any other camp. There are 2 ways you can look at the money. 1 as a cost, and 2 as an investment. We've seen parents invest $200 to $400 for a bat every year, $200 to $500 on a glove every year, $75 to $150 for a pair of spikes every year, $200 to $500 on baseball clothing and workout attire, $250 to $2,500 for pitching machines, radar guns, tees, balls, nets, showcases, tournament travel, and much more. This speaks nothing of all the medical bills you'll face if your athlete gets injured. When the only tool you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You'll spend thousands of dollars on equipment that's intended to make the athlete better, but all are only tools. None will make the athlete better without expert coaching. You pay for the tools, but invest in expert coaching. You can shop around for pitching camps. You'll find other camps offering what seem like the same things. Experience tells you that camps are not the same. Not all camps formulate a customized, hyper-personalized approach to getting the athlete to the next level. Here's a somewhat limited but useful analogy. Consider bringing someone in to paint the interior of your home. You might say, paint is paint. You might even find several different painters who appear to offer the same methods, yet create different results and requiring different prices for the same project. In choosing one over others, you'll consider any number of factors, including their reputation and what their clients have to say about them, their experience, their guarantees, and your opinion of their sincere interest in what they do. Are they really interested in creating the most beautiful, most perfect look for your home? Or just about getting paint on the walls as quickly as possible? You'll be rightfully suspicious of anyone offering too cheap of a price. You know they'll be under pressure to take shortcuts and to compromise along the way. You'll judge their attitude in their conversations with you. Knowing they may all be using the same paint and doing the same thing, putting paint on walls, you may think, so what's the difference? You know there is a difference. Here, we're talking about something considerably more important and more impactful than paint on walls. At the Texas Baseball Ranch, we don't see ourselves just as pitching technicians, like a mechanic or like a painter, but we're about transforming athletes. Not just about pitching faster or harder, but developing your athlete's skill and a confident attitude. This is a special X factor you'll appreciate here at the Texas Baseball Ranch.
Got a very good friend at home that is a sports medicine doctor, and he's very good, probably one of the tops in the business. He's been trying to get us to come here for 2 years, and we kept playing it off, and frankly we looked at the price and said, oh my goodness, you know, that's a lot of money to spend in one weekend. My son's been having a lot of shoulder pain when he throws, and his velocity has gone down and the number of pitches has gone down. He's not been near as effective, and he's having a lot more shoulder pain. So I talked to my doctor buddy, and I said, hey, what do we do? And he said, go to the ranch. He said they can teach him, learn him how to throw without pain. And oh yeah, pick up some velo while you're there, but first and foremost, the pain. And so he finally broke it down to me and said, look, yes, it is rather expensive to go. He said, but you come to my office, and first thing we're going to do is get an MRI. $750 out of your pocket before insurance. And he said, we're going to do MRIs probably once a year to see if the pain is still, you know, the soreness or what exactly the amount of pain is. And he said that's $750 a year, and then eventually in a very short time, we're going to cut him. And he said, and when we cut him, because he keeps throwing wrong, he's going to keep injuring himself until we have to cut him. And then he said, now we're getting in your hip pocket, because that's going to be very expensive. So then I stopped and looked back and thought, wow, that's really not that expensive a weekend if we look at it more of an insurance policy. So we signed up, we came, and it has been incredible. Absolutely awesome. The staff is phenomenal. They truly care about your kid. They care about his throwing, his health, and everything involved. I would greatly recommend it.
It is definitely worth the expense.
If you can make it happen, make it happen. You won't regret it at all.
My son has been playing baseball a long time, and this is truly the best baseball money I have ever spent, bar none.
I remember it was our playoff game in Little League, and I felt like I blew out my arm right in here. So I came here, and it used to be in the Little Red Barn, and Ron told me I had fly out. So once we took that whole summer we worked on it, and I haven't had any arm pain since.
Pro Scouts will look you in the eye and tell you that velocity cannot be taught, that you either have it or you don't. What they really mean is they can't teach velocity. At the Texas Baseball Ranch, we teach velocity every day. The Texas Baseball Ranch is grounded on the fundamental philosophy of taking the player to his next level. Sure, every player wants to be the next Roger Clemens, Randy Johnson, or Sandy Koufax, but even those greats started somewhere. Despite today's young players' ambition to go from unknown to stardom, it all starts with learning how to throw the ball efficiently and effectively. You've been to other camps. You've checked out other camps. Now you'll experience the Texas Baseball Ranch. The American humorist Mark Twain advised, the secret of getting ahead is getting started. There are two things motivating pitchers: winning and losing. At this stage of their game, it's not about winning or losing games, but winning or losing in their mind, with themselves and how far they can go. As you've heard from parents and ranchers alike, the fear of losing far outweighs the fear of winning. At the ranch, it's not about becoming a big league pitcher, rather becoming the best you can be. If that leads you to the big leagues, then so be it. We help pitchers achieve greatness.
I realized really quick that my job as a parent, we were far beyond me coaching him or doing that. And so my job as a parent was to line him up with professionals, people that could take him to another level and progress him as a player and as an individual.
Yeah, I think if your son has the dream, he wants to get better at baseball, he wants to be healthy, and he's willing to put in the work, this is a place that will give you the plan to do it. Make sure that they take care of the pain first, and create a customized plan to help him achieve his goals.
It's like the sign on the way in. Your potential has to do with your work ethic. It's however hard you want to work, that's how good you can be.
If you really want to learn baseball and you really want to pitch and you really want to play at the next level, come to the Texas Baseball Ranch.
What I liked about it is it focuses on healthcare and keeping them safe. Once again, we talked about the individuality, him going through that. That's what I was concerned about. There's literally 15 people here. There was 15 different plans, 15 different things they need to focus on. What I also liked is what you heard about was velocity, velocity, velocity. What I want to see is, are they going to look at him as an individual? He's tall, he's long versus somebody that's short and not as long. How does that equate, and what can you do to actually bring velocity along? And is it a gimmick or is it a long-term process? And what I heard is it's a journey, and that's what I was looking for.
It's time to decide. You surely can't argue the value of training Texas Baseball Ranch delivers compared to the other camps. You can only question yourself and your ability to take action. One thing is for sure, your son's ability won't grow in isolation or by doing the same things you've done before. Is the Texas Baseball Ranch right for you and your athlete? It's a gut decision. The answer is yes. Take action now. Sign up for an upcoming ranch event. You can do so by going online to www.texasbaseballranch.com/events or by calling the office and registering over the phone at 936-588-6762. If you have any questions, we're here to help you. Simply email us at info@texasbaseballranch.com or call 936-588-6762.